Welcome to Tech Brothers. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install Active Directory domain services on Windows 2012 Server R2. I have already created one virtual machine using Hyper-V, and we're gonna use that machine to create a domain. We're gonna make that machine as domain controller. So if you look at here, this is my Hyper-V environment and this is my virtual machine. This is the virtual machine we're going to use in this demo, and we're going to convert this machine into a domain controller. Before we go ahead and install Active Directory domain services on this machine, a few things I would like to mention I have written down here. These are really important things, but some of them are optional, but on a longer run they will be helpful if you follow these instructions. So in order to install for Active Directory domain services, the first thing we need to do is change computer name. If you haven't changed your computer name to a meaningful name, you need to do that, because the reason is when you create a virtual machine, the computer name is really weird, and it puts a lot of unmeaningful characters in there. So that's what I'm gonna show you how to do that. And second thing is I'm gonna go ahead, for this demo purposes only, turn off the user access control. What it does is, if you keep the user access as it is by default in Windows 2012, it'll ask you for every little action you do on Windows 2012 server, that whether you want to do it or not. It's kind of annoying. Only for demo purposes I just went ahead and actually I will show you how to turn it off. I probably didn't do that either, just because I wanted to show this that in this demo. The third thing that you want to do is create another user beside domain, beside administrator, because that user, we can use it to add in domain admin and use that going forward. The fourth thing we wanted to do, this is optional right here, and this is optional as well, but this is highly recommended, and this is completely optional, but you would see that why it's optional and why it's important. So give your machine a static IP rather than DHCP setting. Just briefly tell you that why it's important. Let's say that you left it on DHCP setting, your domain controller, and for some reason it's being restarted, and your system administrator, or for some reason that IP is taken. That can create a lot of issues of IP conflict. And after we install Active Directory domain services, a couple things very important that I would like you to do. Sometimes what happens is when the video is ending and everything is installed, folks will go ahead and turn off the video. But this is very important. That's why I'm putting it in the beginning. Create a forward lookup zone. What forward lookup zone does is, when you add any machine, this is before adding any machine to your DNS. So when you add any machine, what it does is that it resolves to the static IP of that machine. If anybody is trying to resolve host name, the DNS will convert that into IP resolution, just for internet or intranet purposes. And the second thing does completely reverse. If somebody is looking have an IP and looking for host name, if you don't have a reverse lookup zone, it might not be able to resolve that. So these couple things, they are really important. That's why I wanted to mention it before we get into real work. So let's go ahead and install Active Directory domain services. Here's my machine. Let's go ahead and log in. Right now I did not create any user, so administrator is the only one that I have. So I'm logging in right now. So we're gonna follow this. Let me make it a little smaller right here. So first thing we're gonna do is change the computer name, which is when you click on start, right click on computer, go to properties, change. As you can see right now, the name of the computer is really weird. It'll be hard to remember. So since this is going to be a domain controller, so I'm going to give a meaningful name, Tech Brothers DC domain controller. And if you click on change up here, that was the description. This is where we're going to change the name, and you can see that it's not connected to any domain. There's no domain installed in this computer. So we're gonna go ahead and say Tech Brothers DC, same thing. Click OK. And it's gonna require a restart of the computer. So I'm gonna go ahead and restart the computer now and pause the video, and as soon as computer restarts, I'll come back to the video and we will start installation of Active Directory domain services. Click OK, apply, go ahead, restart now. Alright, our computer is restarted, so we're ready to sign in again. I'm going to give the password and sign in to this computer. Alright, the second thing we need to do is turn off the USC setting. So I'll go ahead and click in here and find the USC. If you click user and hit enter, it will give you option of user access control. So user accounts, change user account control setting, click on that, and see it's a little bit above medium, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it off just for this demo purposes. Click OK and close that. That's completed. The third thing that we the fourth thing, matter of fact, we need to do is create the static IP of this machine. So if you right click on the network and open network and sharing center and click on change adapter settings, you will see that you go to properties and go to TCP/IPv4. Click on properties. As you can see right now, it's DHCP setting. Obtain the IP address automatically and DNS as well. So we're gonna go ahead and give the static IP. This IP, make sure that's available in your network. It's not being used by any other machine. 168.1, and I'm going to give it 35. Subnet mask comes along, so here's my default gateway. If you don't know what your default gateway is, I have put another video how to find that out. Please browse that video. 1.2.54. So, and my DNS, since we don't have the DNS right now, so we have to put our IP provider DNS right here. By the way, this IP provider DNS is also is a advanced setting of in DNS. This will keep changing. This was just assigned to me, and it is assigned for just 1 hour for this demo purposes. And then once it's changed, then I'll be actually switching it to our DNS that we will create right here. So click OK, close. Make sure that you have internet connectivity before you move further. Okay, so as you can see that internet access is there, so close that. Alright, since we have completed all the 4 things that we wanted to do it prior to the installation, so let's go ahead and do the installation. Click Add Roles and Features. Click Next. It is roles based or feature based installation, so we're going to keep that and click Next. And this is the server name that we wanted to install this feature on, so click Next. Here's the Active Directory services that you can install. What we're gonna do in this demo is Active Directory domain services. So we're gonna click that. As soon as we'll click it, it'll show you what tools it's gonna install. Right here are the summary of the tools